Elliott. So Elliott lines up as the fullback, Pollard as the tailback.
Hey, don't adjust your dials, as they'd say back in the day. This isn't the Full Tilt Dynasty podcast. This is still the Walkabout, but the way they said Zeke lining up at fullback was so good, I had to use it twice. I loved it so much. We got Nippon over here. What up, yo? Dynasty Vipers representing already early. Look, I'm your host with the most time on his hands, Tom Simple FF. And of course, to my right on the screen here, I guess to my left, to your right, is my mate around the world over there. It's Tom_Lee92 back at it over there in Aussie land, coming back in at you from tomorrow. You're muted. Tom Lee coming in here, all worked up currently.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
No mic. That's good.
These rookies over here. All right, look. Obviously, huge weekend. We want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone for hopping on and hanging out with us tonight. We're going to do a little bit of instant reaction from Monday, and let me tell you, my immediate reactions weren't great.
Great game, wasn't it, Tom? It's good.
It was a fun game. Yeah, it was also heartbreaking. We'll get into that in a minute. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. I hope everyone had a great time. I hope everyone made a bunch of money. Hopefully everyone listened to No Free Squares with Jacob on Saturday and helped themselves make some money. And of course, there's other fantastic DFS content, but No Free Squares is every Saturday night with Jacob here on the Full Tilt Dynasty Podcast Network. So he's going to be bringing that to you every week. We're going to be bringing as much content as we can. I know there's a ton out there. So happy you're here with us. And today, like we do, we're going to talk about true value. There's a couple of players that popped off this weekend that fit our off-season process to a literal T. And no, it is not T. Higgins. It's not a bad T. Higgins joke. I was hoping he would have T. Higgins was actually a big disappointment for me this week. Not a big. It's hard to say big disappointment in a game like
harsh.
that.
Yeah.
But I did not expect with 29 carries for Joe Mixon. That was not in
what was a neutral game
range
script
of outcome. Yeah. The Vikings looked rough. They almost look like a team you want to attack now. Zimmer. I don't know if Zimmer's defensive genius is going to last through the season, if you know what I mean. But look, we don't want to start the show like that. We like to start off the show with a little thing called Do We Care? And look, what this is this kind of fits a little bit more on the Friday show, but this is like a real quick Do We Care? A lot of news comes out every week.
We're just going to wrap things up from the weekend.
Yeah, a lot. Like it's Tuesday, Wednesday for Tom Lee, and you've already seen 100 tweets about Mitchell. I've seen primers and previews and waiver wires and all this stuff come up already. So we're not going to sit here and drill you about, what the big news is and what the implications are. That's not what we're here for personally. There's a lot of great people out in the Twitterverse and on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and everywhere else that'll give you that. But we do like to just kind of let us know if we care is more casual read through. So look, Mostert is now out for the entire year. I didn't even know this. Tom Lee filled me in on this.
Yeah.
He said he's done for the entire year. And look, yes, Mitchell had a big game and Sermon has the draft capital and Hasty was a receiving back, but Wilson's going to come and mess everybody's entire process up, whether you like it or not. So I don't really care that Mostert's done for the year. I didn't expect him to be the back all year, just talent-wise and staying healthy. So this doesn't change my process and my views on any of the other running backs. In San Francisco, it just kind of expedites the process.
Yeah, it just keeps churning on. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I know we feel the same way. With that, and also that Raheem Mostert will look really good in Houston next year as one of the 5 free agent running backs they bring in.
Yeah, the top 30 over 30.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Top 30 over 30. Oh my god. What else do we have pop by there, Tom Lee?
It's all sadness on the news, isn't it? So I mean, Fitzpatrick,
it is today.
he's subluxed a hip. So I mean, we're getting into the Thursday night breakdown later on, right? But it's a rough one for any of those people hoping that Terry's ceiling got massively high because of it or something like that. So yeah,
one last ride for Fitz, and it seems to be done. I don't remember where I heard it. Might have been on that horrific NFL radio. And you know what? I'm going to add something that shits me to tears this week. Because boy, was I hot about it yesterday. But this apparently was similar, just a little like similar, but not as bad as what Tua had. So for me, an aging quarterback, it's rough. I had the Washington football team pegged as my Super Bowl team this year on the week 1 prediction show. I'm going to stick with it. Because I'm stubborn, I'm not going to take the out.
Well, and that defense is still
like Heineke,
really good. So
yeah, Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. All right, I think Heineke can manufacture it. What else we got? Jerry Jeudy on IR. That really sucks. It's high ankle. I'm not trusting him for the rest of the year. He's just even when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Until I see him come back.
Got to wait another year on that breakout.
You're not going to fool me with this NFL. Then not this year. Not he's healthy on the high ankle sprain 2 routes.
Yeah, it's all healed.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm out until I see it. I'll probably wait 3 or 4 weeks, week 12 maybe, before I put him back in.
And the worst bit is we know route runners struggle more with high ankle sprains as well because change of direction is key. Straight line, long distance runners, it's the starting and stopping with the syndesmosis injuries that causes the most pain. So it's going to be even bigger, and they're going to be more cautious and take the longer approach with him anyway.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, in that division, where are they going to finish 3rd?
Right.
4th? They're going to rush him back. I don't know. It's going to be a weird. It really sucks for him, right? Because he looked good in that game.
He did. Yeah.
Yeah. Big hopes, but hey, maybe now Sutton maybe gets a bump. I don't know. Look. Our week 1 takeaways is what we want to get into at the end of this. Do we give a shit? And also check out Big Billy's reviews. I know it was a day late. We're working it in. That's the 4th show on the schedule for the Full Tilt Dynasty Podcast Network. It's real quick, 20 minutes. He just does a quick breakdown review.
It's a nice little wrap up.
Of what happened over the weekend. It's real quick, and Billy does a great job. Ooh, you should also be following at Big Billy FF. Look, I just want to talk about this. I want to talk about how tight the running back field is. Watching the games. From what I've been able to catch so far, I had a baseball tournament all weekend, so like
you're still catching up on everything.
Yeah. But the running back field is not. Look, some really amazing players who are going to be good did not look very good, and there's something about this year. It's already, especially with the injuries, it's creeping in to be one of a more wide receiver heavy fantasy season, I think.
Yeah.
I think that the running backs fucking 7 through 22 are going to be kind of nightmarish all season. So
I think that's the thing. I think we're going to see so much variation amongst running back rankings, especially in Dynasty. Yeah, I mean, like not only is, like you said, the RB room tight, but that leaves itself wide open for a bunch of different takes. And we really haven't seen that for a while. It's always been consistent, especially in the top 12. But now there's a hell of an opportunity in that back end of the top 12 for a lot of guys to slide in and up, which is kind of cool. I mean, that's what makes Dynasty so exciting.
Yeah, it's there's going to be lots of opportunities to pick up different players that maybe wouldn't have mattered. I mean, I know there was chatter about picking up Mark Ingram because he had 26 carries.
Yeah.
What happened there? Yeah, and the other one here is that there's plenty to play out. There's plenty of season to go. Week 1 shouldn't be your affirmation of a take. It shouldn't be the death of another one, right? Unless it's real egregious. Like
unless they got terribly injured.
Carson Wentz will be a top 12 quarterback. That's probably out the window, right? They just don't have the pass catchers there. Yeah. But like, Jonathan Taylor won't do anything now because Nyheim Hines signed a contract, 6 catches. Get the fuck out of here. Like, it's not like he's not gonna do well, right?
Yeah, it's
Still
not that he
don't
lost his
panic.
talent because Hines signed a contract.
Yeah. Don't freak out. He can still catch 35, 40 passes in a season. I know I tweeted
In a
that
heavy
out.
run team. Yeah.
If he averages 3 more catches per game the rest of the way, which is definitely possible on that team, he's going to finish with over 52 catches on the year. I mean, got to think he rushes for what, 1,100 yards staying healthy,
At least.
1,200? So what,
Yep.
1,600, 1,650 total yards, 10, 11 plus touchdowns? Come on.
It's money. Yep.
What are we panicking about here? It just, don't let week 1 make or break you, okay? Lots to play out, like you said. Anything else you want to hit before we go?
No, sounds good.
All right, so we're going to take a quick second. When we come back, we're going to do our Aussie salute, our shits me to tears, and then we're going to get into some of the fun stuff. Okay, here we go. All right, this is what we like to do. So it's waivers. Both of them, some of them have run today, but most of them are going to run tomorrow.
Yeah, overnight.
And because of that, we're going to do our Aussie salute. We're going to salute all those guys that we're going to wave to them. Look, obviously the big one is Elijah Mitchell. Christian Kirk is not someone I'm going near. Pascal is worth a look if you need a wide out.
If he's there, yeah,
He did it last year, right? He's just good enough to be annoying, in my opinion, anyway. Heineke's a big one for me.
Yeah.
Look, we only talk about Superflex here. And in the offseason, I annoyed Tom Lee and Billy and Jacob and now Maddie, who's joined our team, Maddie B. Is doing all the research that I can't do.
Stats guru. Yeah.
Right. Getting better. We love him. But I annoyed these guys to nauseum about how much I hated that the Washington football team even signed Fitzpatrick and that they might have found a gem in Heineke and at the contract they signed him to, and they should have just rolled with him. And I still believed that. He's mobile. At least that's what he showed in the playoff game where he almost took down soon to be Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. He competed, played hard. There's something to say about those guys that come in. They're like the JUCO guys that go into college games.
He's got a little something.
Right. It's going to lead into a little something for later. But I like Heineke. I'm bidding a lot in Superflex leagues that I hedged my bets and didn't take him.
I think that's what it comes down to. So that's what I wanted to talk about pretty much. The rest of the waivers, like you said, they are what they are. Pick up Mitchell if he's there. Look at the wide receivers if you want to put a $0 bid. But how much are you spending on Heineke, who is available in most leagues? So percentage-wise.
So in a Superflex, I'm probably spending 30 to 35%.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Do you think that gets him done?
That might even be low.
Yeah.
Because it's still a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
Especially for Superflex. Especially if you're someone like me that when they're doing startups especially likes to live on the edge of 1 to 2 quarterbacks on my roster.
Yeah.
Right? I said I was going to let it go on the episode with Sam Wogman, but I kind of let it go. I didn't totally follow through, but I tried my best. I tried.
Sure.
But it didn't necessarily work out. But for someone like me who likes to toe the line with quarterbacks, it can be dangerous because, as I always like to say, if you're missing or needing a quarterback in Superflex, staple a Post-it note to your forehead and say, kick me on it, because you're not going to get one at cheap. This is your opportunity. What's 35? If your budget's $100, what's 35 fab to you on your season for a starting quarterback?
So
someone's
going to
charge you
about,
a first-round pick for Ben Roethlisberger. Just spend the fab and take the chance.
Extremely topical, Tom.
Lamar Jackson, had 18 points. That was it. He was good for quarterback 22. Right? If you have a guy like Heineke, you don't think you can put up a 60-yard rushing, 220-yard game, passing, touchdown, and give you that for 35% of your fab? Of course you can.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you can. So, that's for me. And then there's Tim Patrick.
Yeah.
Balled out last year when he had the chance. Could do it again. You got to suspect he's in for targets. I think the no Judy thing bumps Noah Fant up.
Fan
A little
for
bit
sure.
more. Yeah. Okay. That's going to do it for our waivers, I think. Anything else? I don't think so.
No, I think that the key takeaway from a dynasty strategy point of view.
Oh. Tom Lee's fantastical internet connections around the world can make it a little bit challenging. I hope you're all seeing this right now. The look on his face.
Tom,
I'm
we're
going to have
back.
to clip this. Huh?
We're back.
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
Back.
This is good. This is well.
Did I go away or did you go away?
No, I think Australia got ahead of itself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
So no, so the last thing I was going to say is, like, from a dynasty approach point of view, if you are going to use your waivers and you're not sure who to put priority on or who to put more fab on, realistically, our approach is about value and adding value to the roster. So prioritize the positions that are going to get you some return. So running backs and quarterbacks, I'd be happy spending up a lot on fab, especially early days on them, because tilt is in full swing right now. So no, if you're picking up Heineke and you're turning that straight into a second, that's easily just adding value for what would be fab. So that's just the smart process move at the moment. That's what I'd be aiming to do.
100%. So those are the waiver calls that where we're at with them. Again, there's so many great resources out there to get you the waiver wire info. Just a little quick break from us. And why I love Tyler Heineke so much? But here comes the big one. Look, every week there's something that drives us nuts. There's a reason the show is called Full Tilt, because something is always there to drive us nuts. And if you would listen to the off season, we were introducing Aussie slangs, which you do every week. Shits me to tears is one that's stuck, and it's just something that drives us crazy. And we're going to hit on two. I'm going to start with one. They're both going to be quicker because we're going to do two. I'm going to start with one. Victory lapping and overreactions to week one drives me mental. It makes me crazy.
Yep.
I have seen trades today made because I made one today.
Why?
I made one today. This is an example. I traded Derrick Henry away and I got Antonio Gibson back straight up. Antonio Gibson didn't ball out. I want the name. And I just, okay, I'm fine with that. You're overreacting to point totals at the end of the day. And Derrick Henry didn't exactly have himself a balled out game, but he has the name. And if you're overreacting to what your favorite player did and didn't do, and you're even Ezekiel Elliott, who I trashed all Thursday night and
we're not
Friday.
going to spend 10 minutes talking about him, but
I'm not going to talk about Zeke again, but like even myself, who has a few shares left, I'm not running as fast as I can to trade him away.
Yeah.
That's still not how you maintain your true value throughout the entirety of a season. Because someone had a bad
injured,
game,
nothing
you
happened.
move him away.
Just move on.
And like, what do we say? The running back field is slimmer this year. At least it feels that way. It's starting to get that vibe. There's injuries. Running backs got off to slow starts in week one. You're not going out and moving Aaron Jones for nothing. You're not going out there and moving, Ezekiel Elliott for Leonard Fournette because Leonard Fournette caught 5 passes. You're not doing that
had 6-7 targets.
So just breathe. Don't overreact. And if a player balled out for you, I'm happy for you.
Cool. Yeah.
But week one doesn't hold as much water throughout the rest of the season. Otherwise, Sammy Watkins would be the
best wide
MVP every season. And the guy damn near almost did it again.
Yeah.
Last night. So just wait. Okay. It's fun to be excited. It's great to be excited. Be careful with those victory laps. Because like I said, somebody's going to snip you back on it.
It's a long season.
It's a long, one thing the NFL loved to tell us last night was it's the longest season ever. Fucking 7, 8, 9, 12 times they said it. We get it. Look, and the other one is this. The NFL radio. I'm over it. And I know, Tom, why do you listen? Because traffic is brutal, and I want to listen to something.
Could be something, yeah.
But Solomon Wilcox's show, I love. You don't gotta sit here and tell me that Torrey Smith is a great human. I know. I watched him. I loved him. He won many games against Pittsburgh for us. He's a fantastic player for Baltimore. Loved him and hated him at times, but mostly loved him. But oh my God, it's brutal. And then last night on the drive home, I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to listen to the radio, Sirius XM, and I'm going to listen to their preview. And I heard something I couldn't believe. It almost made me fall over. And I did tweet about it to the 8 people that might have seen it and replied. They said the Ravens offense is really going to have to be determined by how well Le'Veon Bell does. Practice squad, not in the depth chart, not on the starter lineup, Le'Veon Bell. And I just couldn't help but think, you are a $1 million billion-dollar enterprise, and no one on your staff Googled who was playing tonight and who wasn't. You just went out there.
Yep.
And it bothered me. It shat me to tears in the worst way the whole way home. My face was getting red. The things that they were saying, the Raiders are going to win 33-21 because Le'Veon Bell is going to have to carry the. And I just, and I remember saying, I'm the paragon of objectivity. I get that the Ravens are going to struggle this year from here on out. I fucking know. But I also know it's not going to be because the stadium, they didn't lose that game because the stadium in Vegas was fucking electric.
Nope.
They lost that game because they got outplayed at the end of the day. They fumbled the ball. They took penalties. Greg Roman did Greg Roman things. It just shat me to tears. It drove me nuts. I'm happy I got that off my. This is like a little walkabout therapy session. That's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it's about. It's a spiritual journey.
Yeah, and now we build it up. Now we build the excitement back up.
Exactly.
We got down. We gave a shit about some stuff.
Now we're moving up. We're going to talk about. We're going to take a break. When we come back. We're going to talk about the Monday night game and a couple things that stuck out. We're going to preview the Thursday night game, and then we're getting into some other stuff here. So sit tight. We're going to come back. That's what we're going to hop onto. Tom Lee, why don't you walk us through what happened on Monday night? What stuck out to you on Monday night? I don't want to hammer this home too much, but what stuck out to you?
Well, the Ravens lost, so that happened. No, what did happen? There was a hell of a lot of targets that went to Darren Waller, and I'm talking like an unnecessary amount of targets. Like you couldn't draw it up that way unless you're playing Madden. 19 targets to a tight end. And a very good tight end, but my God, what were they doing? And then at the end of the game, they decided that maybe wide receivers can also catch the ball. Yeah, a lot of interesting things. I mean, like I said, it's week 1, so we're not going to change a lot of our opinions. Josh Jacobs was on 1 foot the whole game. That's something to keep an eye on. Didn't like the look of that. The Ravens are still sorting things out. Like you said, Greg Roman did some Greg Roman things. I liked what I saw from Tyson. I think Latavius Murray fills a hole. I think maybe one of the guys from the practice squad comes up. Not sure if it's going to be Lev Bell, but like it's, there's going to be a backfield, and Lamar looked good. I think that was the main thing I took away from it. And they went on about it in the commentary.
Fucking superhero.
But he looked really, really good. His passes were on point for the most part. Yes, he had the fumble late, but I mean, if you put yourself in that position and you can't defend.
Oh, trust me, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. So I mean, that's the big takeaway. Lamar looked really good. The offense will come together in pieces, and the Raiders, like you said, just outplayed them. I think it would have been a more interesting and fun game had the volume been away from Waller early on and spread around. I think we'd be talking about a lot more interesting pieces, but we'll see what happens. I mean, the Raiders are just one of those teams that live to annoy and frustrate us as fantasy managers. So, we'll see if there's any trends to come in the next couple of weeks.
Well, that was a very polite way of putting the game. The
Ravens are in the fight, so yeah.
They are fucked, and I'll tell you why they're fucked. They're fucked until they figure out what to do at tackle. because holy shit. Watching the game, I was almost in disbelief. Like, I almost couldn't believe like what
happened.
I was looking at, because every snap I felt like there was 3 guys in Lamar Jackson's face. Every game, or every snap of the ball. And what I don't understand, what actually is a little bit mind-blowing to me, is that they didn't just run play action on every play. Every play you can run play action and it'll hold them, right? Because you got to worry about them. Do you want to know how bad the Ravens' pass protection was on the outside? Do you want to hear it? I couldn't believe it. I want to thank Maddie for going and finding this for me today, so I had it on time. Alejandro Villanueva's pass blocking rating was 13.4. Ronnie Stanley's was 27.7. Okay? Villanueva had 5 QB hurries allowed. Ronnie Stanley had 8 hurries allowed. Stanley allowed 9 quarterback pressures. Villanueva allowed 10 quarterback pressures.
10.
Are you fucking joking? Are you like... I like Max Crosby. I tweeted this out today too. I like him.
Yeah,
he's a fine
good player.
The Raiders were one of the worst teams in generating sacks last season. And they made Max Crosby and Yannick Ngakoue, a guy who they had on their roster, who had like 3 sacks for them in the 8 games he played, made them look like Chandler Jones, TJ Watt.
Yeah.
Right? They made them look like studs. And I'm hoping it's rust, because the offensive line didn't get a lot of snaps in the preseason, and who knows, training camp, and Lamar Jackson was out, but like the running back wasn't chipping on the edges. He was looking inside and then releasing.
Yeah.
When your quarterback is running around like a fucking lunatic, not getting pressure on the inside, Bradley Bozeman, who I shit on a lot. I shit on Bozeman a lot. No sacks allowed, hits, pressures, or hurry-ups.
Very
Zeitler,
good game. Really good.
0 sacks, 0 hits, 1 quarterback pressure, and a hurry. Tyree Phillips, who got himself hurt, no sacks, hits, pressures, or hurries given up. Ben Powers, not bad. He came in, filled in pretty well. 2 quarterback pressures, 1 hurry, and a sack allowed.
Excellent.
For a backup.
Yep.
Okay? The pressure wasn't on the inside. They're fucked. You're going to go Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney against, and they rushed 4. I think Gus Bradley blitzed twice that entire game, and they got a sack. Of course.
Yes.
Of course. It was absolutely brutal. We had a question here. We're gonna get this. Should I trade Montgomery for Najee? Is this? I'm assuming that's a dynasty question, boss man.
Has to be dynasty.
Should
I'm going to answer it like it's dynasty.
Najee? I mean, I wouldn't right now. Personally, I'm the lowest. Here's the thing. I'm the lowest on Najee of the whole group. Tom Lee knows this, but it's not even about that. It's that Montgomery cut through the Rams defense really well, and he looks good.
He looks really good. Yeah.
Fantastic. I wouldn't trade him for Najee right now. I'd wait. Just wait. Maybe Najee blows up, maybe he doesn't, but right now you have something that's working for you. They're about, it's not dynasty. Then I would probably stay pat.
Yeah, I think Montgomery's work and season long.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I would just hold on to Montgomery, because we don't know if the Pittsburgh Steelers offense is actually better. Like, they look pretty putrid.
Well, in fact, we know it's not really that good.
Yeah, exactly. Where Monty's can get better even as is. And neutral game script, they handed him the ball. He looked great. He's going to catch passes. He's running. I don't think you have a reason to move Monty right now. It's season long. I personally would hold on to Montgomery. But
I think you got the better value in Monty in the draft. I think if you took a really good wide receiver 1 in that first round and paired it with Monty in the third, I think you've had a small win there, and I think you hold on to it. Najee's yards per run is not going to increase anytime soon.
Ooh.
And
bench him because of the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Like, I understand.
That's tough, bro. But look,
But yeah, now you've got your asset. You know he's there now. Yep. So, he looked really, really
Mostert
good.
instead. Rip.
Yeah. But again, right, like process-wise, process-wise looks really good. And then all of a sudden,
exactly.
1 quarter in, you know your stuff.
Play the matchups. Well, now you know play your studs.
Yeah. Easy.
I mean,
that's...
But hey.
But good question. Really good. Yeah, I like that.
I love it. Appreciate you. Thanks, boss man. Back to the horrendous offensive line of Baltimore. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to bench Lamar Jackson, but if they don't do something, someone on Twitter was like, hey, Bateman's going to come back and help them. Sure he will. Hopefully he can pass pro. Chip an edge or something. Jesus Christ. It was so brutal. I still won by 70. God damn, boss.
Oh, we're all good then.
Okay. Damn, we need to ask you questions.
Man. Yeah.
I'm going to be coming and you let me know where I can ask you. Damn. You get him. You run the ship on him. Let's go. No stress. Thank you. Much love to you. I just want to talk about another thing for Lamar Jackson real quick because that's what that game was. I mean, Hollywood Brown, I think you're looking at 4 or 5 targets a game. I think it's going to be fine. I think that was going to be the best you're going to see from Sammy Watkins because that's what he does, and then Bateman's going to show up. Where was Mark Andrews? That was fucking wretched. That was putrid of a performance. They were covering. They rushed 4 the whole game and just played cover 3.
Yep.
And I think that's going to be it against Baltimore now. But this is something crazy. Let me just minimize this. Lamar Jackson's passing grade. This is all according to PFF, which we can shit on their rankings and stuff, but their tools are fantastic. His passing grade was 44.5 on non-play action pass plays. 44.5. Do you want to know what his play action percentage rank was?
Yep.
90.1. 90.1. Unfucking believable. His pressure. He was sacked 0 times. Time to throw 3.04 seconds. He had less time. Had the same amount of first downs, right? Is brutal. The one thing this is going to do is going to make him scramble more, right? He had 6 scrambles last night out of his carries. Just the Ravens are in trouble. The Raiders looked fine. Bryan Edwards did something late. Ruggs is dust. I don't care about him. And Josh Jacobs did his thing where he still managed to be a middling RB2 with 2 touchdowns. But he was hurt. Oh, that's why he stopped running. Oh, God.
3.4 yards per carry and had a 10-plus yard carry in that.
And
scored twice.
Disgusting.
And should have scored a 3rd time.
I know. I can't keep talking about the game last night because it's just how. Look, anyway, and I know Lamar Jackson missed a few throws. He did. He missed Tyson wide open in the flat. That was a good 12, 14-yard gain. Sure. Definitely he did that. He missed Watkins for sure. Hit him right off the hands. It was high. Couldn't do it. Missed Andrews. Tried a really good throw to Oliver in the red zone, in the end zone. That was a really.
It was a dime.
If that were Mahomes, he'd be like, he's the greatest passer of all time. But exactly. But Lamar Jackson's like, oh, he's fucking terrible. Fucking. Ugh.
Feel better? You feel better, Tom?
No, I feel like terrible right now, but
it'll get better.
It'll hopefully, dear God. All right. We are going to. I'm just so distracted right now about how bad Villanueva was. Oh my God.
That's one to watch.
That was the draft plan right there.
He arguably let more people through than he stopped.
Don't worry, we got Villanueva. 10 fucking pressures. Awful.
All right.
Look, every week we like to talk about a player that we think has that little bit extra. He's packing some extra heat. And for that, they are a budgie smuggler of the week. Look, strap your budgies on when you're putting this player into the lineup because you, my friends, have extra confidence week in and week out to strut your stuff in your budgies. See, I'm cracking Tom Lee up now.
Strap your budgies on.
He was not ready for that, but I got him cracking up this time.
I don't know what to do with that sentence. Yeah, okay.
I love it. I love it.
All right, everyone, strap your budgies on. Yeah.
Strap your budgies on.
Yeah.
It's gonna get good. Last week, our budgie smuggler of the week, I picked Jalen Hurts, and I tweeted about Jalen Hurts how this was the week. No matter what he did this week, it was going to affect how we viewed him moving forward on the season. And I think that's what happened. He went and played a pretty bad Atlanta team, but did exactly what we kind of thought he would, and then some. He made Jalen Reagor relevant, caught the touchdown late. Devonta Smith, he balled out, 3 touchdowns. And what I really wanted to look at was his non-play action statistics, because on play action, he was 8 of 9 with a touchdown.
Yep.
Fantastic. Adjusted completion, 100%. Amazing. But non-play action, 19 to 26. So 73% completion for 191 and 2. 1 on a screen. There's 2 touchdowns on no screens. But his non-play action grades was 90.6. So 91.
Yeah.
His play action was 64.1. So that's pocket quarterbacking from Jalen Hurts. So that is something that I wanted to see and look at. He did it. He rushed. He didn't go off rushing, but he did enough rushing. And he was a QB1 in the week. He should be a locked in QB1 all year, and they game planned for him. They kept it short most of the time, over the middle. And again, he found Smith. They had Gainwell and Sanders just doing business. Boston Scott is toast. But Jalen Hurts was our budgie smuggler last week, and we're going to dive a little deeper for this budgie smuggler. We're getting the extra tight one on, right? Because we want everyone to just
see what we're packing.
You're not. Oh, God.
We need a budgie smuggler sponsorship is what we need.
I'm going to email him. I'm going to send him this segment. I'm going to get Patrick, our HR alpaca, to email budgie smugglers because we need a sponsorship. Look, we're tightening up our budgies, going a size down, just so everyone can really see that this week we're confident in Tyler Heineke. Or Taylor Heineke.
So confident we call him Tyler.
I always do that. He looks like a Tyler.
It's his nickname. It's Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we're confident as hell in him running this. The Giants don't scare me as a defense. He's playing to keep his job. I know Cam's out there on the street, and Rivera said they're not bringing anyone in. That means yet. And look, I'm confident in him. I think that he is good enough to find Terry McLaurin. He's good enough to find Logan Thomas. He's good enough to find Deandre Brown. Their offensive line is very good, and the Giants suck in the defense. He's going to need to game manage this game. That's all he's going to have to do. He's capable of doing that. If you're picking him off waivers or you got lucky and you had him on your bench already, you can play him if you need to. Injuries, bad matchups, whatever. I'm confident. I'm playing him in a few places because of my play style. And I'm confident with that because they've got Antonio Gibson. And this is a week where Antonio Gibson gets to prove if he is the true bell cow. This is a game where, okay, the quarterback's down. It's a short week. What are we going to do? Lean on our guy?
Yeah.
Big week for him. But I think this week, my budgie smuggler of the week is definitely Heineke.
That's it. So for me, my budgie smuggler, the guy I think is packing a little extra heat, comes from your guy. Because the heat he's packing is getting thrown by Heineke, and it's Logan Thomas. Only the 3 targets last week, which was the only hesitation I had on this one. But I think with Fitz going down, the offense changing, you've got your running back, which is your quarterback's best friend, but the next best friend has to be the tight end over the middle, the big fella. Red zone threat when they get down there. Just a standout as far as a talent goes on that offense. You've got McLaurin to take the middle of the field and up the sideline. Jamie can do other stuff, but I think, and we saw it last year, the connection with him, like Logan Thomas's big games last year came when Heineke was at quarterback. So I think their relationship's good. I think you'll lean on him a fair bit. And I think the volume and the red zone upside for me makes him a standout outside that top 12 that we assume are going to be there. And I think he'll be packing that little bit extra heat that we're looking for every single week in our starting lineups.
Yeah. I thought Logan Thomas was boring, but you made a good point. So you know what?
He is
Start him.
boring.
You're playing him whether you like it or not. So
yeah.
That's where you're at. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. We partnered up with a great team over there. What's the spread? Every week they like to go through college football games, right, and give you a little bit of advantage. Maybe you want to make some money on your Saturday. You're waiting for Sunday. You need a reason. You need a fix. Go check out What's the Spread. I'm gonna go throw it over to Dan Starr and Andy Starr, and they're gonna give you a review of what happened with them in their lead pipe locks. But so I got distracted. I'm reading a question real quick before we do that. What do you think of my 12-team PPR? I made some trades. Kyler, Najee, Clyde, Hopkins, Ridley, CD, Kittle. Look, just sit back and collect your money at the end of the year. Pretty much. I think you did fantastic. I think it's a great
Looks
squad.
good.
I think it's a top-tier squad.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to butcher your name, but Yivin. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. But yeah, no, your squad's fantastic. You made some trades, did what you had to do, put together a roster. It's a 12-teamer. Kyler's probably finishing as the QB 1 or 2, possibly the MVP. Great squad. Like I said, we're going to do the 2-minute drill, so we're going to be back in about a minute and a half. They're going to review their What's the Spread lead pipe locks from this weekend.
This is What's the Spread 2-minute drill, powered by Full Tilt Dynasty. I'm Dan Starr. Joining me is Andy Starr. We gave you our lead pipe locks of the week last week in the Big Ten. Starting off, I had Maryland, -45. They absolutely mollywopped the Bison from Howard. It was 63-0 final. Talia finished with 274 total yards. He was 22 of 27 with 3 touchdowns. 4 different running backs scored for the Terps with a rushing TD. They held the Bison to 0-11 on third down, only 8 first downs and 146 total yards. Easiest lead pipe lock of the week of the season that we'll get. Andy, how'd you do?
Oof, it was another rough one for me, but listen, all the information I gave you was good. It just didn't work out. Nebraska ended up beating Buffalo 28-3. So Buffalo did not cover that 13.5-point spread. Listen, they gave up 3 big plays of 65 or more yards that ended up being touchdowns. And Adrian Peterson didn't turn the ball over for the second game in a row, which surely means the rapture's coming. This isn't going to be the Nebraska that we're going to be seeing throughout the year, but hey, they proved me wrong 2 weeks in a row, so I'm going to lay off of them from now on. But unfortunately, all I can do now is lick my wounds and try again next week.
We learned from our mistakes. And those Huskers, they got a big game this week against Oklahoma. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, look for us next week. We'll get those lead pipe locks back at you on Friday. This is What's the Spread?
Poor Andy, bro.
It's 2 weeks in a row.
I know. You better get the same guys. Man. Hey, we're going to have to start keeping an eye on the other Tagovailoa out there.
Yeah. Oh, man.
He's, as Dan said, mollywopping team.
Yeah.
Love
there's
that
one for you.
Mollywopping. Oh, man, I love it. That's Heartland USA right there.
That's straight fire from the boys again. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to hear what their lead pipe locks are going to be Friday. I'm going to make some bets. I'm just going to keep listening to Dan. Andy, you're letting me down.
I'll ride you later,
Put
Andy.
your
It's
shit
fine.
together.
Yeah.
Hey, at least
Just
Dan
stay away
didn't
from
burn
Nebraska.
them.
Yeah.
Remember last week, Dan just hung them out
man.
to dry. Oh,
Just so content.
Trust the process.
Brother.
You're going to be fine, Andy. Trust me. Look, we're going to do real quick, just quick thoughts on the game for Thursday. We're going to do this Foot Falcon Friday. It'll be Friday for Tom Lee. So we're going to do Foot Falcon Friday.
I'm going to walk you through it like the Foot Falcon.
Exactly. Quick thoughts. I want a prediction of the score and the MVP of the game.
I'm going to go 24-13 for Washington for me.
Okay.
Heineke gets a win. I think you'll get a rushing touchdown or two from Gibson, a passing touchdown or two from Heineke. Man, that Giants offense, like Saquon will work in a bit more. Sterling Shepard balled out. They're figuring out how to throw to Golladay. Like,
yeah,
that like run and pass defense on the like. What are you meant to do against that for Washington? Like, for me, probably get a touchdown late because that just seems to be what Daniel Jones does. A couple of field goals somewhere else in the game gives me 13. That or they miss an extra point. That's what I'm hoping for if I'm a Giants fan. I want to see signs of improvement from the offense. I want to see them start to build a run game around Saquon again. And I want to see Daniel Jones start to hook up with Golladay a little bit more as well, especially with Ingram out. Because otherwise it's going to be a lot of checkdowns to someone and it's not going to be great. That's what I'm thinking happens in this game. I think from a Washington point of view, like we said, Thomas gets a bit of volume. I think McLaurin is still fine, but shouldn't be amazing because they still have a good cornerback at number one. I think it'll be an okay game, but it's not a stellar Thursday night matchup for me.
No, it's not going to be the barn burner it was last week. For me, it's real simple. This game's going to be ugly and gross, and I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to anyway. I'm going to go 17-10.
Yep.
For the Washington football team, I think Heineke rushes one in, so does Gibson, and they kick a field goal.
Nice.
I think that's what it's going to be. I think that's what it's going to have to be. It's not going to be great, but don't panic on Heineke after this. He's going to bring enough fire with his budgies to pull.
Don't light your budgies on fire.
Like exactly against the putrid offense of the Giants. I love it so much. Okay, look, time is the thing. Tom Leonidas having a good time vibing out with everybody here today.
It's week one.
Questions, doing this real quick. Look, giveaway. Look, we gave away a Antonio Gibson rookie card to What Gibbs FF. I have them. They're here. I have them in my possession finally. It took a couple weeks to get them shipped to me from Aussie land, but I do have them. So this week, you know what? Bingo bango is a Jalen Hurts rookie card.
Mr. Budgie himself.
Mr. Budgie Smug. Oh my God, I got to sign it that way. Mr. Budgie Smuggler himself from week one. The first ever fantasy walkabout Budgie Smuggler player of the week was Jalen Hurts. So I have it. It's here. It's in my hands. Okay, we're going to get it in a nice, this is a mint condition, nicely kept card. We're going to get the hard plastic for it and everything before we ship it out and get it to you. This is what you got to do. It's real easy to win. We're not difficult people here. Real easy to win. Look, you got to be following myself and Tom_Lee92. You got to take a picture. Let us know that you're following. Then all you got to do is leave a comment before kickoff of the Monday Night Football game this week with why you are the biggest Jalen Hurts fans. Me and the boys, we're going to sit down. We're going to pick the best. We're going to announce it on the Tuesday show and ship it out to you that week. It's that simple.
Easy.
It's not hard. Follow us. Take a picture and let us know. Comment at one of us before the kickoff for the Monday Night Football game, and we pick the winner. Real easy, simple contest. It's a small giveaway, right? These go well, we'll amp it up. Who knows what it's going to be? Helmets, jerseys, we don't know. We're going to start here, and we're going to work our way up because we love and appreciate everybody. Look, real quick before we get out of here, we're going to talk about some of the process, okay? Because that's still important. We still want to talk about true value.
Still dynasty. That's it.
On this show. It's not draft season anymore. We still got to move into true value, and there's a couple players, like I mentioned at the beginning, that fit our process to a T, and we're going to quickly go over them before we get you out of here. All right? So sit tight, and stay tuned. All right, so we're going to get into some hard yakka. Weekly hard work process driven exercise to better our dynasty teams. So for Hard Yaka this week, we're going to talk about the top 12 void. Look, every offseason, we always talk about who the top 12 dynasty receivers are, or the top 12 dynasty running backs, or quarterbacks, or tight ends. And then week after week, as the season progresses, guess what? It doesn't fucking matter because not all 12 of those guys get in week in and week out.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. It's not a perfect world like that. There are some guys in this top 12 list that I got to admit couldn't even fucking tell you who they play for. All right. It's just how it is.
Looking at you, Pharaoh Brown.
I'm gonna start with this guy, Pharaoh Brown. No
if anyone
idea.
in the chat can shout out and tell us who Pharaoh Brown plays for, that'd be greatly appreciated.
I'd honestly and truly have to look it up.
Apparently a tight end. Yeah.
James O'Shaughnessy, right? I only know because Tebow got cut, so that mattered to me.
Yeah.
Higbee's human garbage, so I don't care. But like top 12 dynasty tight ends. Well, let's see. Let's look at this list. Well, guess what? Gronk's number 1 this week. Waller, obviously. Then Hawkinson. Then, which really surprising. Then you got Kelsey doing his most casual third, fourth quarter, top 4 finish of all time. Juwan Johnson caught 3 passes, had 21 yards, and scored twice, and was the tight end 5. So miss me with this, like, needs to be top 12. I mean,
yeah.
Gerald Everett barely missed on being a top 12. He had 10.1 points in PPR. Okay. This is what I'm talking about with process. If you miss out on the big guys, there are other players that you can get week in and week out that you don't have to pay that premium price for. I mean, Fant was here. He was just 7th. So whatever. The big ones, I don't really want to talk about running backs too much because we get it, right? We watch enough of the games. We're all paying attention to the running backs. CMC, great. Didn't score a touchdown, still number 1. Swift, amazing, fantastic. Jamal Williams was fantastic. Joe Mixon, amazing. Melvin Gordon is a RB1 because of 1 carry.
Yep.
That's it. Made his whole game, but he still did it. But, well, for the love of God, move him. Dalvin Cook wasn't fantastic. Montgomery, we talked about him earlier, looked fantastic. Kamara did his thing. 20 carries, unreal. Jonathan Taylor, no stress. Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, garbage, but he did score the tutty. It's going to be a weird year for running backs, so you're just going to have to stay tight on it. But the big one, obviously, look, Tyrod Taylor, he rushes. Jared Goff, big fucking surprise to me. He stands out big time. Huge surprise to me, and it was garbage time, but 57 attempts. He had 338 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. And he had 3 carries for 14 yards. That's not nothing.
That's not nothing.
It's not nothing. Kyler Murray only had 5 for 20. So kind of Jared Goff is almost as good a runner as Kyler Murray this week. You heard it here first. Not actually. Please don't at me for that. But right, week in and week out, you just got to stay fluid. But the receivers are where I really want to focus our attention for the remainder of the program.
Yeah.
Unless you have something you want to add for the others.
No, I love the fact that Jared Goff's there, and he supported 3 other top 12 players at their position.
Yeah, a tight end and 2 running backs. Guys, coaching matters, right? Anthony Lynn shows up in Detroit, and look what happened. And then he left the Chargers, and Eckler didn't get a target. So
it's honestly, it's an exciting thing because I want to see. That's what we wanted out of that Lions offense was they're going to be dog shit, but they're going to have volume. They're going to have to throw a hell of a lot and go through it a hell of a lot. So, don't fade your starters.
Exactly. I want to talk about the top 12 wide receivers. This is really important.
This is where the money's made as well. This is where a lot of the points are scored.
Yes,
so
we argued all offseason. Everyone did. I watched y'all back and forth in each other's mentions, quote tweeting, subtweeting, bash tweeting, flexing on who your dynasty top 12 were. I got news for you. Fucking 3 of them, right? We're in this week's top 12, like for the most part. CeeDee Lamb, D-Hop, Tyreek Hill. That's it.
There's your 3.
3 out of the 12. You can tout wanting these top 12 wide receivers, but the true value for these players at this position come later.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp. Look, the broadcast said it enough times, but I'm going to repeat it. This is his best friend.
Yeah.
For Stafford, and he looked the part.
Having
He was
Bricky.
on the field constantly. 25.3 PPR points. He was 7 for 10, 108 yards, had a touchdown. One thing that stood out to me about Cooper Kupp is ADOT was 9.2.
Yeah.
Right? Yards per reception, 15.4. Fantastic. He had 71% of his snaps from the slot. This is where Cooper Kupp belongs. Right? They're not going to run 12 personnel. They ran, I believe, mostly 11. Out of the slot, that's what you want. Unbelievable, 71%. He's going to be money this year. And, of course, it's yak for him. 44 of his 108 yards came after the catch. That's very typical of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
You just come to expect it.
The interesting one was the touchdown. He got out the back.
Yep.
Like how you lose Kupp in the wash and then get him out the back for a touchdown is fantastic. And Stafford was just on point with that throw.
Yep. So and where were you getting Cooper Kupp? 7th round, right?
Yeah.
8th round?
Well, this is it, right? You're getting
got
a top 12 wide receiver.
up.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 15 and up in the 7th round. Doesn't have to be a dynasty wide receiver 1 to win you games or keep you in games week in and week out. You don't got to pay the premium for him.
And he'll never fit that definition. He'll never be
ever.
quote unquote a wide receiver 1 in dynasty.
No.
Except for the weeks where he's a wide receiver 1 in fantasy.
Wide receivers are volatile, right? So Sterling Shepard was a 1. This is probably going to be his only 1. Corey Davis had a bad game, but in fantasy he had a good game. Tyler Lockett did Tyler Lockett things. Adam Thielen. If that defense is bad, Adam Thielen, again, another guy, 9th round, 8th round. He's going to give you top 20 every week with these wide receiver 1 weeks. Irv Smith down, red zone targets. This is, and it's short this week because we talked about some other stuff. But we might release a little bit of a bonus pod on this topic this week. But wide receivers carry week in, week out value, but they're also just as volatile as everything else. So while you're worried about who's in your top 12 and making sure you get these dynasty top 12 guys, true value receivers like Amari Cooper, like Adam Thielen, like Cooper Kupp are just as likely to win you as many weeks as your favorite wide receiver. Do not discard them. Do not just throw them away like garbage. I know there's aegis out there. I don't want them for this and that reason.
They don't sound sexy. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Cooper Kupp's not going to sound sexy all year.
The only time he's going to sound sexy is when he's our budgie smuggler of the week, where we know he's packing that heat. Get Cooper Kupp in a pair of tidy-whitey budgie smuggler style stuff. Get him out there. Matty Stafford hitting him 100 yards. That's our wide receiver 1.
Yeah,
that's what we're saying, right, Tom?
Yeah, yeah, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's it.
Tom Lee wants Cooper Kupp and budgie smugglers. Look, oh God,
Cooper, if you're listening,
oh God, add him for that. Look, Cooper Kupp to me, he perfectly fits our whole brand the best. Instead of reaching for players, take the best player available and then scoop the value later. You could have traded out of the 3rd and 4th round in your drafts and not drafted a guy like T. Higgins and got yourself a Cooper Kupp and insert Brandon Ayuk, who I know had a shit week, but he was hurt. But you could have done it, and it helps your team overall. So it's just a bit of an example on how our process shines through and what we're looking to do. We want to identify players who you're getting at their true value, not just a value. Yeah. Right?
Well, we always talk about it. Replace production, add value. Right? And these are the guys that help replace production because they don't seem sexy. They come with a low price tag and they allow you to add an extra piece that is something worthwhile to your roster. And that is really what's worth thinking about when it comes to adding true value to a roster and building a dynasty team that wins. It wins and stays relevant year on year out.
Look, we love DK Metcalf. Right?
Great player.
Consistent wide receiver 1. No.
Dominant.
Yeah, but I don't think he's a consistent wide receiver 1. I think you're going to be able to get likely as many wide receiver 1 weeks out of Cooper Kupp as you will DK Metcalf.
There's your clip.
Yeah, I think so. And it's not a knock on anyone. It's not a statement about anything. It's just the volatility at the fucking position. And it's real. And if you can identify that, you can move, you know, a DeAndre Hopkins, right? For the most part, for a T. Higgins Cooper Kupp. Because
Perfect example. Yeah.
Exactly. You can move that out. And DeAndre Hopkins is fucking fantastic, but you can
Yeah, it doesn't take away from the player. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's lateral
You can
thinking to
replace
think about how can I
production
make my
and add
roster.
to your dynasty roster. To me,
Yeah.
that is the money deal. That's the money deal. But DeAndre Hopkins scored 26.3 PPR points. Good for him. I'm happy for him. Cooper Kupp scored 25.3 on only one touchdown. This is it, right? This is the whole thing we planned all year, and it really showed in week 1. Now, I'm not going and saying, well, you're telling me to go trade Tyreek Hill for Adam Thielen and fucking Debo. No, I'm not. That's not what we're saying.
Don't hear what we're not saying. Those players are still amazing assets.
Yes.
It's
and
can
yes,
they be
Debo
doing
was
more
fantastic.
for your roster? Yeah.
Yes, there's ways that you can be manipulating your way through the year.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, just another little Aussieism for those to go on with the week
love
ahead.
that.
Yep. So how would I describe this? So in Australia, there's a lot of different euphemisms or a lot of different throwaway comments about, fuck that, right? Hate it.
Yes.
Like, we already had shits me to tears, all these sort of sayings around it. One of the ones that's come in and is still around, especially in the Outback, is stone the crows, right?
Stone the crows.
Stone the crows. So crows are birds. We know this, right? That's normal.
Yeah.
But stone the crows, stone the flamin' crows. You're a flamin' galah. A lot of bird being used and the word flaming. But stoning, flaming, bloody, all very, very common things in the Australian Outback. But stone the flamin' crows is this week's Aussieism. Essentially just mean
crows.
Essentially, it's just fuck me dead. You know what? Just a classic
Fuck
throwaway
me
line.
Dead. You should have went with that.
Is that not a thing? Well, there you go. It's a double
Fuck
up for
me
those out
dead?
there. Fuck me dead.
I've never heard in my entire life. I have heard fuck me sideways. I have heard some different ones, but fuck me dead is not one that I've ever heard before.
Well,
That's
there you go.
going in
Little
my
extra bonus
vocabulary.
one. Stone the Crow.
Double.
Flaming Galah. Fuck me dead.
Flaming Galah. Stone the Flaming Crows. That sounds like something from Game of Thrones.
Right? Yeah.
Like, God, you guys are just left on an island there to
We
rot.
should have spent more time focusing on our mail and on our internet, but we didn't. We thought about throwing flaming rocks at birds. It just shows a simplistic approach to life out here and what
I
matters.
love it.
Beer
Everyone.
and throwing shit at shit.
Well, cheers to you, sir. Look, as always, my final thoughts are always the same. Let's be kind to each other. Week 1 was rough for a lot of people. Some people lost some money. Some people lost some games. But as I learned in group chats, life still goes on. People are losing family members and dealing with things personally, and it can be tough. It can be tough on everyone. So maybe when we're on Twitter and we're attacking, not us, right? I had it happen to me for like the first time, right? Had it happen yesterday. You know what I did? Brushed it off as best I could. And we just keep it moving. Good vibes only, all the time. Positivity. That's all I care about. I think that if more people focused on that, they'd probably lead a happier life. And you should always be looking out. And definitely check in on your loved ones. Check in on your friends. Check in on, what's going on. That's my final thought. Enjoy the games. Football's back. What a fantastic week. Just an unbelievable week. We're checking our fantasy teams. We're making trades again. You're getting active, right? Just enjoy it while it's here, because before you know it, right, Super Bowl is going to be over, and we're all going to be fanging for the next season to pop up on us real quick. Okay, so just enjoy it. Live life. Remember, the best days are spent tilting, and that clear eyes and full hearts can never lose. Good night, everybody. Do that giveaway. We're going to retweet it. Good night.
to the up man, and that is Elliott. So Elliott lines up as the fullback, Pollard as the tailback.